Well, one good thing about this group is that, it can go on regardless of who shows up or what's going on.
That's true.
So I'll tell you what, I'll lead it, and I'll lead it having not read the chapter.
He's honest.
That's gangster, Chuck. You get your black card back.
Yay!
Yay! And he's wearing a black shirt too.
I love that shirt. I really like that look.
Don is laughing.
Yeah, see, it's nowadays it's dangerous for people like me to be commenting about anybody that's not white. We're not allowed to do that anymore. People get all over you.
The safe zone here, I'm sure.
You're a racist. All right. So anyway, this chapter, I did actually read most of it the other day because I'm a little ahead in the book, but it's about the email follow-up feedback loop and following up with prospects. And what he means by prospects, people who haven't bought yet, is vital to the survey funnel strategy. And he said that he picks up anywhere from 25 to 75% of his sales from this email, because he found that, hang on here, most marketers give up way too soon. And boy, is that the truth. I think, we can all attest to that. We've all done it. And we all know people who do it. I just read recently, I think it was 40 some odd % of salespeople never follow up.
Wow.
And your chances of getting some business go up exponentially with each time you follow up. And the top producers are the ones that follow up 5 times before they give up on somebody. So that's something that there's a lesson to be learned there.
Yeah.
And he said that only between 1 and 10% of cold traffic actually turns into a sale on that first visit to his website. Now, of course, cold traffic being the toughest to convert, he tries to turn them into warm traffic before they are presented with the offer. But that means that 90% of all his effort, 90% of all his advertising could be wasted if he doesn't follow up. So the thing about this email is that he said, even though, a lot of people kind of turn their nose up at email, that he likes it because it's a very easy way to kind of keep people in the loop. And also you get instant feedback. And he said there's 2 different email sequences he's going to cover in this chapter. And there's a little bit of an overlap between the 2. So there's, a little bit of, he's going to kind of simplify how he tells it to us. So there are 12 emails in total on this. And if somebody becomes a buyer midstream in this thing, they automatically get switched over to the buyer's email loop. So somehow there's a trigger. I wish Sean was here this morning so he could explain to us how that works. But if someone makes a purchase, they don't keep getting the prospect emails. They get switched over to the ones that were specifically written for someone who's already bought. So the whole idea here is to write short, punchy sentences, like not like the corporate ones that we usually get. It's got to be conversational. It's got to be informal. And also, this is something that I learned here, is that every email has to have a link that goes somewhere else. And he said, even if it's not a link that sells something, what he wants you to do is get people used to clicking something in your emails, so that when you give them something to click on, they get used to doing that. And has anybody ever heard of
.com secrets?
It does, doesn't it?
You got to have all these scripts and and that's always been my downfall, is this content creation. and foreseeing all of those different sequences for every different group of people.
Mhm.
Cold, warm, hot.
It says your
air
emails,
down.
your email should not read or even look like promotional messages.
Yeah. Like I got one from a guy who, and this one, you've heard me talk about this one before, but the guy who sells a course on how to convert a cargo van into living quarters and live in it. Something I have zero interest in doing.
You
Yeah,
sure?
we're selling our house, by the way, and we're moving into a cargo van. Possessions.
You guys might make an episode of Little Houses or something like that.
Yeah,
That's good
right.
deal.
So anyway, I read this guy's article on some blog, and there was a link, and so I signed up for his email list because he had a really interesting concept, is that it's like a commercial truck, and he keeps it looking like a commercial truck so it blends in. He can park that thing anywhere, and nobody will think anything of it. It just looks like a commercial truck parked somewhere.
Yeah.
And so he can live anywhere, like any parking lot, any street, anywhere. He just parks it, boom, he lives
And what's
there.
inside the cargo van? Tell them.
Like living quarters.
Like it's got what in it? Tell them. It's got like a stove and a sink and
Yeah, it's like a, well, like what
like
you
a
would,
little camper.
like what you'd see in a travel trailer.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow. Wow.
But the outside of it looks just like any other van, just a plain old white commercial van. He's got solar panels on the top of it, and it's really cool. So, but anyway, that's not my point. But, I don't know why, but I signed up for his little email thing. And the first email was just like a story. He's just like, hey, I got this idea, and I thought, it's really crazy. I told my friend about it, and they thought I was stupid and blah, blah, blah. And it was just it was the origin story is what it was called in the last book.
Mhm.
And that was it. It's just like an introductory, hey, here's where the idea came from.
Chuck, what were the short, punchy sentences conversational? Because I write way too professionalese. Not always, you know what I mean? I fall into that. Anyway, so can you give us some examples of how or did he put it in the book?
No, but
I was doing Audible, and so I don't.
I do have one. Y'all keep talking while I'm looking here.
While you're looking, my husband Cliff Mitchell has joined us.
Oh, good
Hey,
morning.
Cliff.
Hey, Cliff, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
Hi from South Dakota. What are you doing with the sweater on?
Yeah.
It's a little cool here this morning.
Where do you guys live?
Tampa, Florida.
Oh,
She's
You
laughing.
just lost your
It's
you just lost your street cred, Cliff.
You just lost your, yeah. It's 38 degrees in South Dakota.
and that's the high. That's going to be the high today. My son lives in St. Petersburg.
Ah,
Oh, okay.
nice.
Anyway, anywho. Okay, so I'm sorry, Chuck. What? Let's use
Remember the yacht party we went to? That's where Terrell's son lived. That was his
Yeah.
place.
Yeah. Oh, God, Donna. We were there together. Oh, my gosh.
That was me. I know. I look a little different right now.
You do. I love your hair long. Oh, my gosh. You look totally different.
Plus, she was shy then. She's not shy anymore. My baby.
When has that been the case? Corporate diva.
Plus, it was at night, and I think I was drinking margaritas or something, wasn't I?
True.
Was
Hi,
I?
Cliff. Yeah, that's true, Terrell. You were.
Hello. Good morning.
Okay. We can go back to the book now.
Sorry.
I'm gonna.
All right. I can't find the one I was thinking about, but here's one that came from Dan Henry. Hey, Chuck. Not hi or dear Chuck, just, hey, Chuck. Thanks for requesting the chapter interview infographic, cheater, whatever the hell it is. Can you do me a quick favor and reply to this email with got it, just so I know you got it? I thought, ooh, that's clever.
Mm.
You probably saw my video on how to use cheater interviews to make affiliate marketing commissions. Now, without having to create a bunch of your own content first, well, here's the goodies you've been waiting for. And then there's a couple clickable links. So it's just very conversational.
Yeah.
Then after the clickable links, I'll be back with more stuff to help you soon. So keep an eye out for upcoming emails, including one on how I won this Lamborghini by purchasing or by participating in an affiliate marketing contest. And then there's a picture of him looking goofy with his Lamborghini. Seriously, no joke. Watch out for those emails.
That's the Lamborghini from Russell Brunson?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Remember, I missed the Dan Henry interview, so I may have questions.
You need to listen to that.
Yeah.
I can't figure out which one it is. I don't like the way Abdul named them.
Well, I don't think his Dan Henry thing is online yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I know for a fact it isn't.
Okay.
But I got to tell you that interview was great. Is there anybody in here who actually saw it? No. Oh.
You
It's
guys were probably the only one there.
It's a good thing you didn't, because you wouldn't be able to sleep. He just, it was inspiring. He just, kind of laid it down and goes, look, this is how you do it. He was just very energetic and very sincere about it. He goes, look, anybody can do this. It's just so emphatic about it. It's like, it works. It always works. It doesn't matter. Just do it. Just do something. Don't sit there. And that's kind of the overarching theme of his whole interview, is an hour and a half, and was to act. To just do something. And I've never heard the MF word used so many times in one interview. Just for the fun of it, I'm going to count them up. In that hour and a half, it's got to be hundreds.
So he's like Gary Vee.
Oh, he makes Gary Vee look like a preacher,
Oh, wow.
as far as language goes.
Oh. Oh. That's probably why it's not posted yet, huh?
No, I think Abdul's trying to put some affiliate links with it and to, really get the maximized
Gotcha.
traffic out of it. Because, Dan Henry's a big name, so
Right.
Abdul wants to make sure that when he does post it, he's going to get some good out of it. He'll get some traffic to his website. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead, Chip.
Oh, I lost my line of thought.
I'm sorry.
Thanks.
Do you know who our next interviewee is?
No. No, I don't think we really have anybody specific lined up, do we?
What about the lady that Veronica was talking about in the chat? Oh, let me go add Donna to the chat right now.
I don't know anything about it.
Okay, never mind.
Wasn't that the one that you guys sat in on last night? That's what he was talking about, wasn't it? Or did he have another one?
Asha? Okay.
I think, but maybe he had another one. You just blew me away that 40% of all business people don't follow up.
Yeah, shocking, isn't it?
That is, and I'm one of them. Anyway,
I guarantee every one of us is guilty of that.
yeah. Wow.
Absolutely. Sometimes it's not even on purpose.
No.
Yeah. And, the saying is, the fortune's in the follow-up. We all know that.
Right. Panda Planner have a great follow-up system. I was actually reading on it because I have this big old Panda Planner book, and I felt like I wasn't maximizing it or using it to its full potential. And so I went online, and they have an amazing follow-up system. And, of course, it has everything to do with technology today in your phone. And you know how you put you're pretty much psyching yourself out. So you put a reminder in your phone to go to the grocery store at 6, right? But you want an hour reminder so you can plan, to get there and all of that stuff. And even if it's something as little as make a grocery list, because you're in the grocery store without a list kind of thing, you set it. Then you set another one to say, hey, did you remember to do this? then you set another one, and then if you ignore all of them in the Evernote system, you have another one pop up and say, if you don't do it today, you'll have to do it on your other busy day, and you won't be able to do it. So you're pretty much telling yourself, get it done today or else, but it all comes in the forms of reminders.
Yeah, Pat and I use Wunderlist and do a very similar thing to that, although with less reminders. And
Gotcha.
Wunderlist works good for us because you can share lists and you can see each other's lists.
Yeah.
Right. Same thing with Evernote. CJ and I can share lists and see each other's list also.
So you're using Evernote for that?
Uh-huh.
Good. Yeah, Evernote's great. I really like it.
I want to learn how to use the Evernote calendar because you can do the same thing. I mean, with Gmail, we can see each other's email, but they're not linked. And I don't use my Gmail account for anything important, so I want to get to learn the Evernote calendar.
Yeah, we've got everything all streamlined because we need to be able to see each other's schedules, or each other's to-do list, each other's address book. For partners, we have to.
CJ don't need my little black book. He don't need that. That ain't none of his business.
Well, I mean, I got my secret stuff, That's secret stuff. But anyway, yeah, if you're working together, it's vital that you can access each other's stuff. So anyway, let's talk about the emails. So the first email gives them the results of their survey responses because, as always, there's a survey going on. So this email has a little explanation of what the results mean, how they can apply the results to solving their problem. And the whole goal of the email is to get them back to the sales message and get them to see it again. But it's framed around the delivery of these results. So the micro commitment bucket survey responses have been generated. Then the next 3 emails are called a story series. And they're supposed to be casual, story-based reminders that, again, pull your non-buyer back to the core sales message by getting your story out one each day for 3 days. And so basically it's one story broken up into 3 pieces. And he suggests that one way to do this is to choose the 3 strongest points from your sales message and use 1 point from each email, but retelling it from your firsthand experience. So he gives an example here. If one of your key points is the quality of your product over the ones that are offered by your competitors, you could tell a story about how a person might suffer if they mistakenly got a lower quality solution. Now here's the key to this, and this is where I always kind of get mired down. You don't have to become a literary genius to tell these stories. You're aiming to come across like a friend. So just sharing a simple anecdote like you would relate to a buddy at the water cooler is the ideal tone. And they always have to link into your sales message.
And see, that's the thing where we humanize it, right? Because now we're building a relationship. Because now, reading his stuff, I feel like we're buddies and we're friends, and he's calling me on a first name basis. But we've always been taught the opposite. Be professional. Be this. Come across as all of this other stuff. Maybe yes, in corporate America, but even in corporate America now, it's all about relationships, not necessarily sounding all, what's the word I want to use, intelligent or intellectual, but all about building those relationships. So now we have to untrain ourselves from the professional acting, thing to be more relaxed and relational.
Yeah.
You're exactly right, because in corporate, I work for a Fortune 50, and about 65% of our demographic is now millennials, and they do not relate to memos and long memos and 3 paragraphs and the kind of language that is traditional in corporate America. It is all about relationships now. And even surprising enough, even though social media is vastly used, the top form of communication really still is face-to-face. And so we've got to get more relational in everything that we do, because that type of authenticity is what connects us to our audiences.
That's exactly right.
I agree.
You know, I read one book where the author recommended use the shortest words possible, and after you write it, take words out until if you took one more word out, it wouldn't make sense. So in few words as possible and short words as possible.
Isn't that what our parents did? Especially my mama.
Yeah,
It was few words as possible, but you knew you was in trouble.
that's right. You got the point right quick.
It was a look.
I mean, really, it all comes down to just quick, clear communication, doesn't it? Because it's got to be quick and clear, because you've got so much competition for somebody's attention, and there's so much stuff landing in their email box. You know, if that thing's paragraphs long, they ain't gonna read that. They don't have time for that kind of nonsense.
Mm-mm.
Good.
That's why this even sounds kind of long, but
But you could manage it in a couple of sentences.
yeah, absolutely.
Like if Sean was here, he'd tell you that he gets, I don't know, 500 emails a day.
Yeah.
So he despises emails.
Mm-hmm.
He scrubs them out
Yeah.
really quickly. So for him to get an email that's going to really get his attention,
Yeah.
it has to really be something spectacular.
That's why I created multiple accounts. So when I'm doing funnel type lists, when I'm signing up for funnels,
Mhm.
I give them one email, but my personal business stuff, I do another. So I don't have to weed out all that stuff.
That's way too organized.
Yeah, Sean has multiples as well. But he still gets like way too many. I don't know why, but that's what he says.
So we've got our 3 emails. And we start off with a story. So that's kind of the soft sell approach, is what he calls that. And then emails 5, 6, 7, and 8, that's what he calls the sales acceleration series. It's designed to turn up the heat, in a way, anyway. So if the results of the story didn't get them to buy, it should at least get them warmed up a little bit so they're not cold traffic. So by this point, if they did not unsubscribe, it's safe to assume that you just haven't given them a sweet enough deal or an urgent enough reason to buy now. So this whole series is about modifying the offer to lower the barrier to getting in, and also increasing the urgency of buying now. And he says, you know, how you do that's going to be different depending on what you're selling. But it's not offering a further discount. We just want to lower the threshold of commitment. So I think that's an important point there, because, you know, you can just keep lowering the price, keep lowering the price, keep lowering the price, but there's a point of diminishing returns on that. So what he says here is, just as an example, maybe you could give them a $1 trial period with the full amount being billed later. So it's not really a discount, but you're lowering the barrier to getting in. Another one here, the just pay for the shipping offer. We've read about that in other books.
But it also said, and is billed the cost of the product at a later date if they choose to keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not really just the shipping. They're paying for the shipping, and then they're paying for the product later too.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so that's an interesting way.
Yeah, that's kind of
You know, just thinking off the top of my head, reiterating your guarantee
yeah.
is another way, because, you know, I'm of the opinion everything we do should be guaranteed.
Oh, yeah, I forget to do that. I'm going to do that with my class on Saturday, too.
Mhm.
Money back, full money back guarantee if you're not happy with any part of the course.
Yeah, and, you know, you're not going to have to do any refunds.
Oh,
And eventually you'll get a jerk, but,
It's so funny. We do a lot of free stuff. So then, like, some people are very strange. And so we say to them, don't worry, it's money back guaranteed, or something like that. We say, right? I forgot how we say it.
Yeah.
You'll get somebody who'll say like,
don't worry, if you're not satisfied, I'll give you your money back.
right, it's free. Hello.
Yeah, it's free.
Donna, I was going to ask Donna, how do you do that? Can you do that with your business, with coaching? And how do you put that out there if you do?
Sure. So if I'm doing an executive coaching session, we have some communications that happen at the very top of the sessions. And so when they sign up, if they're not pleased or something didn't work for them, I'm willing to issue that particular session again.
Yeah.
Or we can extend the session. If they don't feel that they're getting the answer that they need, I am fully committed to work with them until they do. So that's kind of a soft commitment that is understood in the bylines when we sign our coaching agreement.
And that's in writing, right? When you do the contract, so to speak, the coaching. Yeah.
Correct. So we commit to solving the issues.
What about you, Cliff?
Somewhat similar to what my wife's system is, but what I do is we provide a 30-day sort of, guarantee. And then we also provide follow-up coaching and mentoring for the people that really buy in. So from my understanding, when we sell products, if we sold 50 products, out of the 50, we would get maybe 10 or 15% of them that actually open the product up and dig into it. And then after the people that dig into it, we may only get 5% of them that actually use the product and try to execute. So for the people that are asking for money back, most of them don't even open the package. They put it on the shelf and basically they bought your product, but what we like to do is we like to expand it out for 30 days. And then we also like to keep it open for coaching because a lot of times there's a lot of late bloomers that may pick it up after the 30 days. And we have our open arms and we welcome them because we want them to get something out of the product.
Yep.
That makes sense.
And that's in writing too.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's in writing as well. Yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of having everything in writing and nothing left to chance.
Back when I did private training clients, my deal was at the end of the first hour, they asked if it's like, okay, is this exactly what you need? Are you 100% satisfied with this? Because if not, I'll go home. Nobody owes anybody anything.
Yeah.
And then if so, great, we'll stay on that track and they can expect to pay at the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I figure, because I always figure, it may not be suitable for them for whatever reason. There's,
Right.
Sometimes it's nobody's fault. It just doesn't suit their needs. So, in which case, that way I've only wasted an hour.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy, and I'll just go home.
Mm-hmm. We recently went on a trip, and we were in the Bahamas, and we were negotiating with a tour guide. And I was sort of, trying to get a better price. And he said something very interesting. He says, listen, I'm going to take you guys out. You pay no money up front. He says, but if you're unsatisfied with any portion of the trip, don't pay me.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He said, just don't pay me. He said, I will guarantee you that at the end of the trip, you will be asking me for my card. So when you come back here, you'll be requesting me.
I love that approach. Oh my gosh, I bet you tipped him big too.
That is strong.
Yeah, he was absolutely right because we had used them before, and that's why I thought he should have given us a discount. But we had about 12 other people that had never experienced it. And this guy got rave reviews. Everybody took his card, and everybody wanted his email address because they said the next time they go back to the Bahamas, they're going to look for him. So, that was a strong opening and closing all in one. And I thought that was a great approach.
Wow.
You
So
know,
no discount.
They even included him in the family picture.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
He was so good.
Game recognized game.
He was good.
Wow.
Wow, that's
That's really
impressive.
So, that kind of reminds me of what are some of the best things that people have done to shut down your negotiation skills? Like I can give you a couple. Like there was one guy, I was buying a product and so I was trying to get the guy down on price. He said, "Oh, Chuck, man, I owe you an apology. I'm really sorry. I thought when we talked that you wanted me to give you my best price right up front. And so that's what I did. And I'm sorry, I didn't know that you want my best price right then." And I forget exactly how he worded it, but it's something akin to that. And I was kind of like, wow. So, and then when I started going to a different mechanic shop, they're like, "Okay, well, yeah, it's going to be $400 to do whatever." And I was like, "Dang, $400, man." And they're like, "Well, yeah, that's like a 4-hour job." And I'm like, "Man, I could do that myself in 2 hours." And there was a little pause. And he goes, "Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, if you want to try and do it yourself, you're welcome to do that. You can come pick it up. That's fine." But he said it in a real polite way. It just,
Is this Carnivale?
yeah, just like shut down.
Disarming, totally disarming.
And I always really admire someone that can shut down a negotiation that easily.
I'm in
So what I've learned with negotiating or not negotiating is that it's your ability to not flinch.
Yeah.
So, and I was so grateful for this feedback from Jean, and she told me the first time she met me as CJ's business partner, I gave her the price, and she was standing there like, because I didn't say anything else, I just gave her the price and got quiet. It was, okay, well, if I want it, this is the price I'm going to have to pay. A lot of times, if we just tell them what the cost is and then get quiet and don't say nothing, their decision is already made because they know you're not going to budge.
Yeah.
Now, if they take a long time to respond, and that's also another tactic, you kind of second guess yourself and start saying, well, if you want, I can give you a discount, or you can pay me half now, or it just from silence. Because now you're trying to think, oh my God, what are they thinking? Is it too much? All those kind of things. I think the best negotiation tactic is your ability to not flinch and just be quiet. Give them the price and be quiet.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Silence is the best for negotiations.
Yeah.
Say what you're going to say and then be quiet. Or don't say it and be quiet and wait for them to speak first.
Yeah.
Because the number that's in your head, may not be as good a number that's in his head. But if you speak first, in his mind, he's saying, "Oh, okay, I would have paid 100 for that, but she's only asking me for 75. So in some cases, you out-negotiate yourself because you spoke too fast.
Right.
Now, on
That's
the
hard to do.
Now, on the other side of that, I happen to be a really good negotiator
Yeah.
for us, for me. Like we went into a camera store and I wanted this tripod. It was a carbon fiber tripod. You want to tell the story?
Oh, this was genius. So we go in there,
Do share.
and so she wants to buy this tripod. It was like a $500 tripod. And so she's looking online. She goes like, well, these folks have it for a different price.
It was B&H.
And then she just looked at me like, well, I could give you $30 off on it. She's like, okay, so they agree and everything. I get it back out to the car. I was like, so what was the other price that you had? And she gave me the price. It was actually higher than what they were asking for. I'm like, well, wait a minute, that's higher. She goes, I didn't say it was a lower price. I said it was a different price.
He didn't ask me.
Wow. Oh.
He laughed. He was like, oh my God.
That's, of course, me being from the South,
He was shocked.
I don't have the nerve to do that.
I'm from New York.
There you go. There you go.
That explains a lot. But
Once a New
Does
Yorker,
explain a
always
lot,
a New
doesn't it?
Yorker.
You know, I did that exactly in New York. I did the exact same thing on either Broadway or Canal Street. I don't recall now.
I
Because
knew
it's
you
been
were
some
going to
years.
say yeah, yeah.
Right. So I wanted these earrings, and they were $25. And I said, that's costume jewelry. I'm not paying 25. I said, okay, never mind. I'll go across the street. He has them for 15. Okay, no. I'll give it to you for 12 and pick another one. Just that quick. I never even been across the street. I don't know what people across the street have. None of that. But he stopped me and said, no. I'll give it to you for 12 and you get another one. You get one more item. I said, oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
And I got my earrings.
we told our kids to say, you know, if whatever it is, the product or services you want, you say, well, if I paid you all cash
Mhm.
and close today, what's the best price that you can give me?
yeah.
And then be quiet. And then wait for them to say something.
Mhm.
Number, then your follow-up question is that the best that you can do? And then be quiet. And we get calls from our son in Miami and one in Jacksonville saying, you know, I used that technique you taught us as a kid, and I just was quiet, and they kept coming back with a lower price. and they get really good deals.
Guess what I got this for?
Yeah, matter of fact, my son, when he bought his first car, he did that. And he got a great deal. And the guy asked him, he says, where did you learn how to negotiate? And he says, well, my dad works with me on that. He says, I want to talk to your dad. And the guy actually called me.
Oh,
No kidding.
Yeah, the guy actually called me. He says, man, you did a great job teaching your son how to negotiate because he got me. Yeah, so it was good. Yeah.
What a compliment. That's wonderful. Well, that's
Silence part. It's hard to be quiet. It feels like 5 minutes is going by, even though it may be seconds.
Yeah.
But that's the power. That's where your power is at.
And CJ, you have such a deadpan stare. You should be able to get
Oh,
away.
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
CJ, right? He'll just give it a look.
he's the ultimate poker player.
Yeah,
That's a first.
call it.
You are.
Yeah, and you're already a man of few words.
Yeah, totally.
I talk too much.
Really?
What? To who?
Whatever.
He don't mean that he talked too much like in general, but when it comes to video stuff, CJ would give you as the consumer the technical end of things and how it would work and why you need this and how come it costs that much kind of money kind of thing. And that in that instance, yes, I agree. Because as a customer, I don't want to know any of those information. That's why I hired you.
Yeah, interesting point.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't want to know the technical. Don't tell me it because I won't understand it and I don't really care. Otherwise, I'd be doing it myself.
So, Veronica, you're on here, and I haven't heard a peep out of you. What's going on?
There is a reason for it, Chuck.
Yeah, what's the reason?
Silence. We just talked about silence, Chuck.
Yeah,
Negotiating.
exactly. This is how I make you pay attention that I wasn't talking.
Oh. Okay.
Man, I wish you would be there yesterday, guys. I know you had a big commitment, but did you even see a little bit of?
No.
No.
Yolanda saw a little bit of it.
Yolanda spoke about it this morning. She was on for about an hour.
Yeah. Well, you'll see the recording. It's okay. You'll get everything that was there. She just had such a great personality. That girl just had such a great personality, and of course, she's doing great things. So I'm sure Abdul will post it soon.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. So it was awesome, but hey, life happens. I want to say that I agree with what Yolanda's saying, and I'm learning it. I've learned it the hard way. The hard way is that not the hard way, but through experience. I would say just through experience that there are moments when you just have to shut up and get out of the way. So
good advice.
Yeah. Get out of the way, because often the customers, they made their mind And if you keep talking, like, you know, you're on their way. The one thing you can ask when you know that your customer already ready to buy, which way you prefer to pay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, foreigners are always hard negotiators.
Yeah.
Sorry. We're sorry. Not really.
Actually, it depends. If we are going after somebody, after something, we're trying to get the best deal possible, because that's just how it is. You know, guys,
Yeah.
you know that I was in Turkey this summer. In Turkey, they consider you kind of, in a way, stupid if you don't try to negotiate. Like, if you come to the store, it's part of their fun. I mean, they'll sell it to you if you buy whole price, but it's part of their fun they have when they sell. You know, they have a lot of production. They product everything.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like China, but much better quality overall. I mean, the real factories do really good job with beautiful things and clothes and etc. So but if you come to the store and you just ask, and then you're like, okay, no, they want to have this little game with you, going back and forth, and it's amazing what you can negotiate, but they think ahead of time about this, so it's already included in the price. The sometimes like 80-50% negotiation including price. So you steal the joy from the owner if you don't play the game.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Chuck, I got a quick question for you.
Yes, sir.
When you have a client in real estate, and you know, there's different levels of clients, especially when you're representing them as either buyers or sellers. But buyers, what I found is that I have like 3 levels of clients. I have a client that is completely reliant upon my knowledge and experience to handle everything. I have the next level would be a client who's somewhat knowledgeable and has maybe bought a property or something like that in the past. Then the highest level is when I have a client that either has some type of professional real estate background or they've been doing sales and they want to sort of take over negotiations. How do you handle that when you selected a property that they like and they want to be completely involved in structuring the price? How do you handle that situation?
Well, we advise them, and if they insist, of course we're morally bound to follow what they want as long as it's ethical and legal.
Right.
So we just at the end of the day, we work for them.
Right. Yeah.
So we just try to keep that in mind, that we work for them. But we'll tell them what the consequences may be. Like, for example, if they got a really low ball offer, say, look, it's very likely that the seller's not even going to respond to this, and you won't have any communication with them.
Right.
Especially in this market.
Are you okay with that? And I was like, well, yeah, I'm okay with that. And like, okay, well, great. I'll submit this and I'll let you know what happens. And, of course, based on your experience, you know what's going to happen in advance.
Right.
So, of course, that's going to reinforce that you do know what you're doing with them. So next time they might be a little more likely to listen to you.
Right. Right. Okay.
When they start to lose houses or, whatever property, when they start to see that they're not getting the properties because they've negotiated, you're the expert negotiator, not them, and that's what you need to tell them.
Yeah. And sometimes you have to let them lose a few properties.
Right.
To kind of let that sink in. It's like,
Right.
okay, well, you ready to start listening now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually just had that scenario happen. We got an executed contract last night, but
Great.
I had to kind of step back a little bit because they were so demanding about price.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I'll write it up. That's what you want. I know that they were going to buy. It's just a matter of which property we were going to get. So we lost the first 2.
There you go.
That third one, I wrote up and I did exactly what you said. And I says, time is of the essence here. If we don't get this one, then you guys are going to lose out on another opportunity, and we got to go back out in the street and look at houses.
Yeah.
And that was the contract that we executed, and it just came back in last night.
Oh, that's great.
That's good.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah, but we run into that, especially with first-time home buyers that don't have any clue.
Yeah,
Pricing.
they'll think that, you know, they'll want to lowball and make them pay for closing cost and this and that.
Yeah.
And,
And
Right.
you're, especially in this market right now, in
Yeah.
the seller's market, you have to tell them, don't be asking for anything. You're
Right.
kidding me? There's people with cash out there.
Yeah, that's
You're going to lose out.
like you'll be lucky to get a flat no on this. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Yeah, but you know, hey, some folks, you know, there's just no dealing with them. But we try and nip that in the bud right in the very beginning.
So, Cliff, let me ask you, have you seen the market slowing down a little bit? Have you seen more houses staying on the market a longer time now?
Yeah, I actually used one of my listings that we actually just had an appraisal done on it. But when I first picked up the listing, which I think was back in September, the seller was just raving about how houses in his neighborhood were only on the market for hours.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I actually just, you know, on my own, I went back and did a sort of a market analysis because I didn't see what he was seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he kept raving about, hey, it's, you know, it's not going to, because I talked to him about staging. I talked to him about a lot of different things. And he was like, well, we don't need all of that because it's going to sell today.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if you feel that strongly about it, let's throw it on the market and let's see. Let the market speak for itself.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, so that house stayed on the market for 70 days before, well, we got one offer, but it was a lowball offer at day 35. And then we dropped the price probably at about day 45. And then we got an offer on day 70.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what we're seeing, we took an investor out yesterday. He's from Colorado, and they have like $100 million that they can work with.
Wow.
And yeah. And so one house was 43 days, one house was 103, and the other one was, I don't know, 80 to something days. But I had to search like to get him houses, and the budget was up to $1 million
Wow.
to look. But it took me like, and he wants like Tampa or St. Pete, but Tampa like South Tampa or, you know, land, stuff like that. I did find land for him too, but it is tough to find stuff that's not already finished. I mean, you know, he doesn't want things that are done, like that have granite and stainless, you know, it's stuff that's,
Yeah, they want to rehab.
they want to, you know, he wants to rehab them, and it's already stuff that's finished.
Right.
Anything interested in beachfront? Beachfront?
He doesn't want a flood zone. He doesn't want a flood zone.
Doesn't want to flood zone. Okay.
No flood zone. That was another
Yeah.
thing too. Yeah, no
Right.
flood insurance.
And he wanted to rehab the properties himself, right?
He's going to hire a GC out here. So
Right.
we have some GCs that we know, and so we're putting him in touch with them, and then he'll FaceTime with them.
Oh, sweet. Sweet.
But he's got 10 projects right now that's going on all over the country.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's huge.
Right.
And he's only interested in residential. Is he interested in commercial at all?
Just residential.
Just residential?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for some clients like that.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, and investors are kind of a unique breed because they're very easy to work with because they know what they're doing,
Right.
but also it makes them hard to work with because you know there's no emotion in it whatsoever. It's all numbers. If the numbers work, it's great. If they don't, then it ain't gonna happen.
Right. And in a seller's market, it's a little difficult
Yeah,
too.
it's tougher to make numbers work
It's
right
tougher
now.
to make the numbers work right now.
Right.
I'm just curious what your thoughts were about, days on market.
Yeah, I'm noticing that properties are staying on the market a lot longer.
Yeah.
We're seeing that too.
Yeah, there's another house that we had put a bid in on, and the seller's agent was just adamant about full price, no contingencies, very clean offer, and he would have an offer in 3 days. Well, it's going on day 45. That house is still on the market.
Wow.
It's a nice house, very nice house in a nice neighborhood, but they are staying on the market a lot longer. And I was maybe contributing that to the past hurricane that we just had, or holidays coming up. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, holidays are coming up, but
Yeah.
like between Thanksgiving and Christmas, nothing's going to happen.
Right.
But, it's still a fairly hot market.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think that we're seeing a major shift right now.
No, I think it's plateaued.
Yeah, just a bit of maybe a slowdown or something like that.
I was just curious, what your thoughts were on it.
Yeah.
So it's good to talk to someone else about it.
Yeah, and also, I think we have each other's numbers. We can go offline and talk about that in more depth, because I love to talk about that stuff.
Yeah. I think we have his number, right?
Pat, all you had to do was ask me. I'm the expert.
Well, that's true.
I'm the real realtor.
Well, we didn't want to bother you.
We didn't want to bother you. We know you're busy.
Yeah, because, we respect, that you're a different
Lord.
than you are.
That was funny.
Oh, you're so
Yeah.
funny, Yolanda.
Well, I can't believe it's 7 o'clock already.
Oh my goodness.
Just
So-
like that, it's over.
Cliff and Donna, it's so good seeing you.
Yeah, it's nice seeing you guys.
And Cliff, we can talk.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'd love to get together with you guys too.
yeah,
Okay.
maybe we gotta plan time to get together and we can chat and help each other out.
Yeah, that would be great. I appreciate that.
All right. Well, I've got your contact information. You've got mine.
Bye, guys. Have a good day.
See you later,
Yeah.
Yolanda.
Bye, Yolanda.
We'll figure out a time. Maybe sometime next week would be good.
Yeah, that sounds good. Absolutely.
Thanksgiving.
Next week.
Next week is
Oh
Thanksgiving.
man, I hate holidays.
The week after.
Who's the pup in your arms? Who's that?
This is Lucky.
He's a good boy.
He's got 2 teeth left. That's it. That's the 2 teeth you might see.
How cute.
He's about 10.
Oh,
He's a
okay.
good boy.
He's a good dog.
He loves Chuck. Chuck's his favorite.
That's right, aren't I?
Yeah.
That's right.
Love look. I see the love look in his eyes when he looks at
I'm
Chuck.
telling you, he loves him.
Yeah, he just sits there and stares at
He
me.
does. He loves him.
He's a good dog.
He's good. He's only 10 pounds. He's like a little feather.
Yeah.
He's a good dog.
Yeah, let's set up a meeting and we'll definitely talk online. It's a
Good. Yeah, we'll go get coffee or something out by you guys or wherever we meet.
Oh, we go to that Indian restaurant. Do you guys like Indian food?
I don't.
I do more than him.
Yeah,
We
she does.
both love Thai though. We know you love Thai
Oh
too.
yeah, we love Thai
All right.
food.
All right.
So Thai. Is that
Thai
okay?
food. Yeah, we
Good.
went to that Indian restaurant out by you guys in Brandon.
Brandon?
I don't know, it's on 60.
Yeah, it's on 60,
It
maybe
looks terrible from the outside, but it was
What-
good food. I don't
maybe
know.
maybe a mile and a half east of the interstate.
Oh, if you remember the name, let me know. I
On
like
the
it.
north side of the street.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. All right, guys, have a great day.
All right.
Okay.
Have a wonderful day. It's really good seeing you guys.
Nice seeing you guys.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day, guys.
Thanks.